This meeting is being recorded.
Good morning, everyone, on this beautiful Saturday morning in Alicante, Spain. Today for LYP 90, joining me all the way from San Sebastián, north of Spain, is Lee Wright, S. Lee Wright. And she's presenting Sexy Sleep and Sweet Dreams, helping us all get into that zone of better sleep, which leads to better mental health and just overall well-being. Welcome, Lee.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you today and sharing some of my expertise and information about sexy sleep and sweet dreams. Do you want me to go ahead and just jump right in?
Absolutely. Just introduce yourself, why you're the expert, and so on.
Excellent, excellent. So I am S. Lee Wright, and I am going to share with you today some information that is going to change your life. And I say that because our sleep is very, very important. And what I'm going to share today is what is bedroom feng shui, why it is important to you, and why you really should listen to this presentation, and how we can fix what your bedroom is not lacking or is lacking in right now. But first, let me thank you for coming and welcome you to this. I'm very excited to be here as part of the Love Yourself Project, Love Yourself 90-day challenge. And I say welcome to you for actually being here and showing up. It's always difficult to take time for ourselves, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to this presentation and hear what little tidbits I can offer you. But I want to take just a moment, if I can, to share with you, who am I? So I'm S. Lee Wright, and I am a holistic interior designer and a feng shui expert. And over the years, I have also become a sustainable living advocate. And that is simply meaning that I help people to change their space and to change their life because their environment has been changed in a way that is sustainable, and sustainable in the overarching meaning of it does not cause harm to anyone or anything. It's very specific about the planet. So I have been a designer my entire life, which is a little bit of a weird thing because most interior designers, it's the #1 second career in the world, whereas I've been doing this ever since I was a little girl. So I've got a lot of experience under my belt, and I also walk the walk. So I actually practice everything that I'm talking to you. So I practice what I preach. So I'm hoping that today's information will help you to change your bedroom space using some design and feng shui tips so you can have sexy sleep and sweet dreams. So let me dive into a little bit more of what we're talking about, right? This is me holistically. What this is about, bedroom feng shui design. And I think before we dive into the bedroom stuff, I should give a little bit of an overarching history of feng shui. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, maybe you kind of know, but let me give you my simplified version of what feng shui is. Feng shui is an ancient practice. It's over 2,000 years old that it has been practiced, and it's practiced mostly in the Far East. It's very recent that it has come to the West in a slightly different version. But what it generally is the mindful arrangement of your space, typically your built environment, but it can also be applied to our outdoor spaces. But it's the mindful arrangement of our space to optimize your health, your happiness, your safety. So a good visual that I often give when I'm teaching about feng shui is it was started with the concept of where you would put your hut on the side of the hill to ensure that you got the right sunlight, that the rain came in a way that was helpful and not harmful, that you didn't get swept away in a mudslide, right? So it's the mindful arrangement of your space. And the great thing is that Feng Shui has been evolving as we have been evolving. And I studied with a grandmaster who was very, very essential in bringing Feng Shui and the concept of Feng Shui from the East to the West. I'm a Westerner, as you can tell from my accent, and I really needed the concept of Feng Shui to be brought to me in a way that I could grasp it. So as an interior designer, I was already very, very much about how our space needs to be beautiful and it needs to feel good. Well, Feng Shui took that to a whole other level about understanding the invisible energy of your space is just as important as the visible things. So that's what Feng Shui is. And the topic today is about your bedrooms. And so when I was describing about Feng Shui, it can be used in a multitude of ways. You can use Feng Shui for an overall city. You can use it for a house, a room, your desk. And so for today, we're talking about how you can apply Feng Shui and the principles to your bedroom. But as a human being, a woman, a designer, I wanted to just take a moment to talk about our bedrooms. I think that we live in a world that multitasking is very, very normal. And I think that the bedrooms have become a little bit blurry about what they are used for. And in a perfect world, your bedroom is used for two things: sleep and sex. These are the two things your bedroom's supposed to be used for. I'm an interior designer that's worked in New York and London and in Spain. And so an awful lot of our spaces have had to multitask. So our bedrooms can sometimes be combined with other functions other than the main bedroom functions. But it's really important, especially when I'm doing a design project or a Feng Shui project, that I talk about how the bedroom is essential for making sure that you have sweet dreams and great sleep. Because these things, as we're going to get on a little bit later in the presentation, are essential to your happiness, to the way you show up in the world. So your bedrooms typically are about sleeping, right? These are the number one things. But it's also something really important for us to think about. Our bedrooms also are a place where we are in our bodies. And it's become a little bit taboo to talk about sex, but I think that it's important for us, and especially for women of a certain age, I'm 56 years old, is that it's really important to make sure that your bedroom is supportive of your own sexuality. Because in reality, we are sexual beings. And that's not sex in the way of just necessarily reproduction and having kids, but it's being comfortable in our own bodies and recognizing that the more comfortable you are in your body, the happier you are going to be. So there's no body shaming, there's no worries about this. Your bedroom needs to be a place that you feel completely comfortable in your sexuality, whatever that is. And this is something that's bigger than just being in a partnership and being in a couple or being married. It's about yourself and your own sexuality as well. And so the bedroom needs to be a place that you feel comfortable, safe, and that it supports your body wherever your body is. And your bedroom is a place where your dreams come into play. It is about the rejuvenation of yourself. It's the slowing down of the mind. It's a place where you actually regenerate your body cells, but also your mind cells. And so not having a bedroom that helps you with your dreams is a big problem, because our life is lived going forward and we need to dream big. And so our bedrooms are the place that happens most often. We're usually too busy in the rest of our life that the bedrooms, when we're slowing down, is where you will actually allow yourself to go into that dreaming phase of your life. And it's super, super important. Why does this matter? Why? Why does bedroom feng shui matter? I just talked about what it is. And you could probably say, oh, yeah, that would be really great. But there's some key things that I think that you need to hear about why this really matters to you right now. One thing, and I find this all really interesting when I first dove into this, especially when I first started studying feng shui and how your space matters. And it really matters to your health. So if your bedroom feng shui does not work and you are not getting good sleep and you do not feel comfortable and you are having hot flashes and all of these things that are not good, your immune system gets compromised, right? Your overall health goes down. If you do not sleep, if you have sleep deprivation, it is scientifically proven that your immune system goes down. And maybe even you didn't know exactly what that meant, but probably post-COVID, we're all aware of how incredibly important it is for your body's immune system to stay strong, to protect you from all the bad stuff that can be out there. So if you do get sick, you can bounce back faster. So your bedroom feng shui being good is really important for your immune system. That's one reason why it matters. The second reason why it matters is because we get less pain. And if you are in less pain, you generally are happier, more present, more capable of interacting and showing up in a way that is the best version of you. They often say medically that if you don't get enough sleep, you will have headaches on a much greater scale. So not having good bedroom feng shui means that you're going to have more pain. So it's important so you will have less pain and be able to show up in the world as your best version of you. Third thing, and again, a lot of these are obvious, but I think it's really important, is if your bedroom isn't functioning the way that it's supposed to give you that energy that you need, you're not going to be able to do all that great stuff that you want to do every day. You're going to end up being more lethargic. You're going to end up doing significantly less on your to-do list, which then creates stress, and it's a negative, vicious cycle that goes around. So we all want to have more energy. We all want to be this happy person that can bounce around and do all the things that we have on our busy schedules that we need to do. So that is the third reason why it's super important. The fourth reason is because if your bedroom is good and you're feeling really confident in yourself, you're going to be confident in the way that you show up in the world. And it is incredibly important. There's nothing sexier than a confident person, right? It's hugely great. We all want to be that person. So your bedroom is where it starts to give you that confidence booster. So again, you show up as the best version of yourself. And last but not least of why bedroom feng shui matters is it gives you the opportunity to have deeper, more meaningful, more intimate relationships in your life. And when I use relationships in the feng shui term, we actually talk about relationships, all relationships, not just our partner, not just a spouse or a husband or a wife. Obviously, that is an important relationship too, and the bedroom is very key to have that work well for your partnership. But it allows you also to show up for all of your relationships. Deeper, more meaningful relationships give us a sense of belonging, deeper happiness, and greater satisfaction in our lives. And again, this starts a lot with having the proper bedroom feng shui to allow you to have these deeper, more meaningful relationships. So your bedroom's not so great. Many of us have that problem. And I am going to share with you right now how you can fix this and create, or at least start on the journey of creating better bedroom feng shui for yourself. So the first tip, really, really important here, is about how to arrange the space in your bedroom. So when I was talking about what Feng Shui is, it's about the mindful arrangement of your space. And what does that exactly mean? Well, the key thing is you have to think about the way the space is set up. And in Feng Shui, we often use and refer to the commanding position. And what the commanding position means in really bare bones terms is that you need to be in a position of safety. This is really important in the bedroom because it's when you're the most vulnerable. You're going to be in a position of sleep. You're going to be under the covers. You're not going to be able to do quick reactions, right? And that is much more subconscious than you think. They say that 90% of our life is dealt with and focused from our subconscious. So it's really important that when we are unconscious in our sleep, that we feel really, really safe. So rearranging the space in your bedroom in the commanding position means that for the most part, you want the bed to be in a position where you can see where the door is, right? You want to actually have your back, your headboard against a wall where nobody can surprise you from behind. And that is the broad term of a commanding position. So making sure that you arrange the space for your safety is one part. The second thing with arranging your space that I would recommend in the bedroom is less is more. Our bedrooms are supposed to be for intimacy and sleep. If we can avoid having other things in the room, sometimes we can't. Sometimes the children need to have toys. Sometimes you do have to have a home office in that space. And if that is the case, you need to mindfully arrange it in a way that you can either cover it up or block it. So when you're sleeping, in your vision isn't a lot of noise. And what I mean by that is crazy busyness. And if you have to have a lot of stuff going on, it's good to do like the trick in the picture here, which is you try to frame things that the busyness is on something specific and you try to organize. Decluttering and organized spaces are incredibly good because they are a reflection of what's going on inside. So if you can arrange your space that the mess is outside of your visual, it can be shielded with a screen behind a closed closet door, that kind of thing, making sure that the mess isn't really visible. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to have a closet that's going to explode or shoving everything underneath the bed because that would not be positive either. So the mindful arrangement of your space is really important. And today is just a taster. We're not able to go into a huge amount of detail, but I do workshops where I specifically help people look at their individual rooms. So if you're having trouble with figuring out how to arrange your space, you can always reach out to me. The second thing you need to do in your bedroom, which is hugely important, is clear the energy. And there's two things that I mean when I'm speaking about this. One is clearing the clutter energy, which is the obvious, right? You know, make sure that the laundry's put in the laundry basket and the clothes that are clean are folded and put away. Make sure that there's not a lot of excess stuff in regards to junk, extra stuff in the room. So you're clearing, decluttering, organizing this space. And that's hugely important. The second part of that, though, is the invisible energy. I often sage the bedroom, and that is a really great way to make sure that you clear the invisible energy that's going on, that it doesn't become stagnant or stale energy. Just like if you left a body of water stagnant, it becomes ill. Same happens with our energy in our bedroom. So it's a great idea to make sure that your bedroom gets some energy flow. That could also be opening the windows to allow light going in it, doing a chime with a bell. Noise is a great vibrational way to shift the energy in the bedroom. Make sure that it isn't a place that gets ignored when you do the cleaning of your house. I know I've had clients that say that they wouldn't let their cleaner go into their bedroom because they were too embarrassed. That's a bad idea. You want to make sure your bedroom is always being cleaned and cleared of this energy because it's the energy that's feeding your dreams. So it's super important. And the third part about clearing the energy is making sure that you try to avoid as much as you can the technology. It's really hard. I understand how technology has become such a huge part of our life, and it's such a blessing, but it also is something that we need to manage and make sure that it is not overwhelming inside the bedroom, because it's the time that we need to be turning off those things so you can slow down your mind, so you can go into that dreamland that's going to bring you to a better place. Which brings me to the extended conversation about your bedroom needing the right light. You need to make sure in the bedroom that you have the ability to have light that is specific to the tasks at hand. And I often feel when I'm working with clients, it's so fascinating to me how we become so disconnected that we're not recognizing the color, the warmth of the light that we have. LEDs are the newest, latest, and greatest energy efficient light bulbs out there. Super awesome, especially in a world where our electricity is becoming very expensive and complicated, and we have all the climate change and things that we're worrying about. So it's great to change to LED bulbs in the bedroom. You're doing something good for the planet, you're doing something good for yourself. But I'm going to highly suggest that you make sure that it's the warm light. There's a little bit of technical jargon going on. It needs to either be 2,700 or 3,000. It's a color terminology, but you can see it. You need a light that has more of a golden glow, not that kind of cold blue, reminiscent or fluorescent lighting. That fluorescent lighting is super bad for your health. It changes the way your eyes and your brain connect, and it's not good for your sleep pattern, the way your body needs to get into sleep, which is another reason why you should not be using your computer or your phone too much when you're in bed, because it actually stimulates part of your brain that you do not want to have. And as a designer, I'm a big believer in having a dimmable light switch near your bed so you can actually start lowering the light down, because it also sends a message to your body to start to slow down, which is really great and really important. And something I often feel that people think that they can go from like crazy, full on bright light, active on the computer doing this, and then they think they should be able to go to sleep right away. So the right light is an incredibly important Feng Shui element of your bedroom. Function, so if you need it to be bright, but then for the bedroom, for the most part, we want it to be dimmable. We want it to be warm. We want it to be specifically where you need it only, and allow there to be a play of shadows in the room. And this is really important. Beauty is this wonderful thing. We have a flower that is just there for the simple joy of having something that we find beautiful. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it is super important that you think about what's important to you, what you find really beautiful. And that's what should be in your bedroom. William Morris, great designer, said that you should not have anything in your house that you do not believe to be beautiful or useful. And I totally swear by that. That is a great motto of mine. And in the bedroom, I would up that. It needs to also be simplified. I have worked with a lot of my clients to remove things. They say that they have a lot of artwork that they love, but if it's too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. So simplify the beautiful things in your room that you can really appreciate, like almost like a meditation, to look at something and really look at the beauty of that one piece. I also have a trick of sometimes changing that with the seasons that allows you to appreciate some of your beautiful things in a more conscious manner. But in your bedroom, It shouldn't be overstimulating information, overstimulating art, but things that you really find gorgeous and compelling, and surround yourself in the bedroom with those simple, beautiful things. And I say that you really want to make sure that the bedroom is set up to be a place for you to love yourself, right? And that is that you have to feel incredibly comfortable in your space. And that means that you really need to take conscious effort of what is on the bed and what the bed is made of. Having a mattress that supports your back in the right way for just how you sleep. And this is a very individual and a very specific thing. And I work with clients to go and test mattresses and to really think about how they sleep. Do you sleep on your back? Do you sleep on your side? Do you sleep on your front? These are all really important things. And they're not, a good mattress is not inexpensive, right? As good linens and good pillows. But loving yourself, this is one of the most important things that you should spend money on, and spend time doing your research and getting it right. And I would say that if you have the proper mattress and the proper pillows, you're going to be in less pain, you're going to sleep better. But also the bed linens are really important, to make sure that you have ones that are light enough or cool enough for those of us that actually have hot flashes at night. It's really important to make sure that you have the proper bed linens that support you. They even have now duvets or blankets that are for two different sides, for two different people, in case your temperature is different than your partner's temperature. But these are things that I highly recommend that you spend the time to learn yourself what's important for you, so you can get the best night's sleep. And so it's a gift that you give yourself that isn't something that's just automatic, because it depends on where you are. I'm a very, very different sleeper now than I was 15 years ago. You know, I now like an eye mask when I sleep. I have a specific pillow, and my mattress is fabulous, all natural latex mattress. And I always sleep on the summer side. So it's really taking the time to know yourself and to love yourself to make that bedroom specific for you. So now I'm going to just, after I've gone through all of that, I'm going to give you some real life stuff. So I've been a designer for 30 years. And so I've done a few bedrooms, right? And I wanted to just give you a few pictures. Now, none of these are going to be your bedrooms, because this is not a workshop that we're individually talking about you, but we all have complex bedrooms, and not always are we given the exact perfect space to do things. So when I was talking about the arrangement of your space, often I run into situations with my clients like this picture that shows you, where the door is in a place that the bed has to be next to the door. From a Feng Shui perspective, this does not give you the commanding position. When you're laying in bed, you can't look at that door. So we talk about cures, or ways to enhance a situation that you can't change it to be perfect, right? There's no such thing as perfect, but you can't change it to be exactly what you want. So what can you do to make the situation that you have work? And so here, what we do is, when the bed headboard has to be on the same wall as the door, you basically want to have some reflection on the wall that you're looking at, or something on the door that would notify you if someone was opening the door. Something that would make a noise on the door when the door was opening, or something that would glitter and gleam if someone was coming in. So there are always ways in which you can change the feng shui of your bedroom, even if it's not exactly perfect. And I'm also a big advocate of making sure that you have a headboard. You know, I was talking about how you need to have the protection of feeling safe. And one of the ways that we feel safest is if we have a headboard. I see in huge amounts of modern design that headboards seem to disappear for a while, but I would highly recommend that you use a headboard for that kind of support, that energy of saying when you're going into bed, you're going into a safe space. And again, I'm going to reiterate how incredibly important it is to declutter and organize your space. But I'm going to caveat this. Everybody has a different sense of beauty, and everybody has a different sense of what clutter is, right? And I don't believe that clutter is bad in and of itself. It's when things don't have their place, their home. That means it's not been properly designed. So this space to some people would be cluttered because if you're a very minimalist person, but someone else, it would actually, for this client, this wasn't cluttered. We used a series of baskets in order to be able to place extra things in it. It's a great way of organizing your stuff so it doesn't feel cluttered. And it's important to also realize that the feng shui in your bedroom and the sense of beauty is different depending on where you are in your age group. So I've done bedrooms for children and they are super bright and active and fun and joyful. And that is very, very different from a perspective of the way children sleep and how their dream patterns are and what they're seeking versus an adult bedroom. Adult bedroom, adult bedroom, right? Very, very different. So the colors for kids are very stimulating and super great. But after about 18, this starts to change, right? And another feng shui tip is as much as you possibly can, bringing nature into your bedroom would be a great thing. We really are seeking kind of harmony and balance. And a deeper dive in feng shui is that there's 5 elements in nature, and it's really great to try to incorporate a balance of all of those into the space. This particular client of mine had moved from the country into the city. And with that, I created, and the country house she had was in a forest. So this wallpaper was a perfect way to make her feel at home in her city residence. And you can also see that I have a chime of birds that were next to her bed as well. And I'm going to say Norma loved sleeping in this bedroom. She never had a bad night's sleep here. And so I talked a little bit earlier. The last thing I wanted just to give a feng shui tip is art. Being really conscious of the art that you have in your space. You want to make sure that it's happy art. It's art that often, depending on if you're trying to get into a relationship or improving your relationship, often things that are done in pairs is a very good thing. I had a client once that all the artwork in his apartment was of single people with their back overlooking their shoulders. And it was an interesting telltale of the story of his life, which he had always been seeking a partner and unable to find one. So keep your art in your bedroom conscious, happy, in pair, and minimal. Do not overstimulate yourself. And my last thing about mirrors. So in olden times, feng shui, mirrors were considered very mystical, and they're still used as a lot of cures in it. And I say that they talk about feng shui, and when you're in the bed, try not to have a mirror that you can see yourself sleeping in. They say that that actually brings out the ghost energy, and there's a lot of fear associated with that. But you can have a mirror that's across from the bed that reflects something else. Like in this picture, we had artwork that looked like nature above the bed, ginkgo plants. And so we had the mirror tilted in such a way that you actually, when you were laying in bed, you could see the artwork, which is really fabulous. Mirrors are used in a whole slew of different ways in feng shui to expand a space, to negate a space. It all depends on the specifics. But in bedrooms, there's often talk about how you don't want to see yourself sleeping in the bed. So I wanted to touch on that for you. And now, that's a lot of information. I know. Thank you for coming on the journey with me to hear all about bedroom feng shui. one of the things that I try to help my clients avoid is the freeze, meaning that you don't take any action, right? Because it's important. If you say, I know that I should do that, I say, then we should do it. If not now, when? Because change only happens when you make that choice, that conscious decision. It doesn't happen just by chance. So with that, I'm actually going to tell you right now that I've got a special offer for this group that I would love to help you. If you are stuck and you can't figure this out with all of this information, and there's a lot of information in this presentation about how you can do it, but if you would like my help, I'm very happy to give you a 50% discount. You can reach out to me. My changeourspace.info is my blog, lots of juicy information. I write a lot about how to do this yourself. And my holisticinteriordesigns.com is my website. Also shows you a lot of beautiful pictures of projects that I've done and give you information about how you can work with me. Because I'm a holistic designer, I design it with you. I am a flexible designer. Really, my passion and purpose is to help people like you. So thank you very, very much for being here today with me. Make sure that you do something today that your future self is going to thank you for.
Thank you so much, Lee. That was absolutely amazing. Now, I'm going to just ask, I think we have one guest here today. If Ella has any questions for you. I know she's having trouble with her video as well.
Well, I'm very happy to field any questions. I realize this is a lot of information to take on board. So I will extend the invitation to, if you have questions after you process the information, you can reach out to me independently on my my email, and you can find that on my website. Very easy to reach out to me. I will be more than honored to clarify anything about bedroom feng shui and the importance of sexy sleep and sweet dreams that this group may have.
And one thing too, Lee, you're going to be sharing with us as well about home office Feng Shui. And there was one more that I cannot remember.
We are going to talk about how clutter is incredibly bad for your health, and I'm going to give some organizational tips on how to actually declutter your house room by room. So that was going to be another one of my topics. I am a sustainable living designer, so I'm always looking at ways to help make your well-being an integral part of your home and your day-to-day life, and make it in bite-sized ways of doing it so you can do it. I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. So that's my goal.
Great. Well, thank you again so much, and look forward to the next time.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Bye for now.
Bye.